Good morning, everyone. In chapter number 3, that is classification of elements and its periodicity, we have learned about the electronic configuration of S, P and D block. Now, today we learn about the screening effect. Screening effect is also known as shielding effect. So the screening effect is also known as shielding effect. So what is this effect? Screening or shielding? It means that, suppose, let us take an example of any of the atom. This is the nucleus of an atom, and here the cells are present, orbit, right? So if I am talking about D block, suppose this element is belonging to D block, right? So we know that the electronic configuration of D block element is n-1 D 1 to 10 and ns2, right? I think I don't have to explain what is the electronic configuration of D block, which we have already learned in the previous lecture. So the electronic configuration of D block element is n-1 D 1 से लेके 10 तक and ns2. This is your ns2 and this is your n-1 D, right? So when I am talking about scandium, the atomic number of scandium is 21 and the electronic configuration of scandium is 3d1 4s2. So suppose this is your 4s2. So in 4s there are 2 electrons, and in D block elements we are seeing that the ns shell is completely filled with 2 electrons. 2 electrons are already there, and in the inner cell the electrons are to be added. So in scandium the 1 electron will be added to D shell, right? Now the force of attraction, this nucleus tries to attract this 2 electron towards itself, but these electrons present in inner shell, they feel some kind of jealousy. They don't want the attraction to be divided into further different electrons. They want the whole concentration on them. So what these electrons will do is they will repel this electron. So inner cell electron will repel outer shell electron, just because they do not want the concentration to be divided among the different electrons. So they will try to repel this electron. So this repulsion of electron, inner cell electron repelling the outer shell electron, so this repulsion is known as screening effect. They are shielding. They want the nucleus, the force of attraction of nucleus, they want particularly on them only. So this kind of effect is known as screening effect, or you can say is that shielding effect. Clear? Now the effect of screening or shielding in block wise. See, suppose this is an atom. The innermost shell is S, right? Then P shell, then D shell, and then F shell, right? So S block or S shell is closer to the nucleus, right? So the shielding power of S block or S shell is highest. On moving far away from the nucleus, the shielding power will get decreased. So S is having maximum shielding because it is much closer to the nucleus. Then P block is having somewhat less shielding power than S, and then D, and then F. So इफेक्टिव शिल्डिंग, सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव शिल्डिंग कौन करेगा? सो इफेक्टिव शिल्डिंग इज डन बाय एस शेल. सो द ऑर्डर ऑफ शिल्डिंग इफेक्ट, द इफेक्टिव शिल्डिंग इज ऑफ एस शेल, then P, then D, and then F. So D and F shell are having poor shielding. They are having पुअर shielding, क्योंकि वो अच्छे से जितना भी उनका जो सेल है दैट इज फार्दर फ्रॉम द न्यूक्लियस, तो एस के जितना शील्ड, एस के जितना स्क्रीन वो नहीं कर पाएगा, उतना प्रोटेक्शन वो नहीं कर पाएगा. क्लियर? सो एस का शील्डिंग पावर इज मैक्सिमम, देन पी, देन डी एंड एफ. सो वी कैन सी दैट डी एंड एफ elements of D block and F block elements, they are having poor shielding. Clear? So this is what the screening effect is. Now we learn about atomic size. What is atomic size or atomic radius, you can say? Now we know that the size of atom is extremely small. Size of atom is extremely small. It cannot be seen by naked eyes. So how one can calculate the size of that particular atom, right? And to measure the size of the radius of an atom, instrument known as spectrometer is used to calculate that radius. Even X-rays are being used to calculate the atomic size or atomic radius. So what is the formula of atomic size or atomic radius? So it is nothing but the distance between the nucleus and outermost shell. न्यूक्लियस और outermost shell के बीच में जो distance है, that distance is known as atomic size or atomic radius. Clear? Now we know that this cell, these orbits are imaginary orbits, right? So it is difficult to find this distance. Now to calculate this radius, we have seen that the elements are obtained in the combined form. For an example, when we talk about chlorine, so chlorine is diatomic, right? So it is found in combined state. Clear? So this chlorine, when we want to calculate the atomic size of chlorine, we just have to take this diatomic form of chlorine, right? Now we know that chlorine is existing in covalent bond, that is chlorine and chlorine, because sharing of electron take place over here. So the extent, so the distance between this chlorine, one chlorine atom and another chlorine atom will give us the atomic size, right? So the non-matters are obtained in covalent form, they form covalent bond. So this type of radius is known as covalent radius, right? तो कैसे covalent radius आएगा? This is your chlorine atom, one chlorine atom, and this is your another chlorine atom. So there is sharing of electron and you will find the extent of overlapping over here. So distance between this chlorine atom, two chlorine atom, and on taking the half of the distance will give the atomic radius of non-matters. We know that non-matters generally found in gaseous state or solid state and in diatomic form. So the distance between two chlorine atom, so half of the distance will get the atomic radius of this chlorine, right? For an example, if two atoms are having 256 picometer of radius, this distance is found to be 256 picometer. So what will be the radius? The radius will be just half of it divided by 2, so it will be 148 picometer. So this is how we can calculate the covalent radius. So covalent radius is nothing but the distance between two atoms and taking average of that radius. Clear? Actually the radius should be calculated according to the definition. It is shown that in neutral isolated gaseous atom, so we know that only one atom cannot be exist. For an example, if we are talking about chlorine, one single chlorine atom cannot be exist. It is formed in diatomic form, right? So we just have to take the form in which they are obtained. So non-matters will give covalent radius. The another kind of radius is metallic radius. The name itself suggests that it is for metal. So again, metal are having same thing. They will form, the less extent of overlapping will be found in metals. Suppose this is sodium and this is sodium, so less extent will be formed, right? So the distance between these two atoms and half of the distance will give the metallic radius of this particular atom. Here we find that the extent of overlapping is very less. This is your metallic radius, and the last radius is van der Waals radius. Van der Waals radius. What is van der Waals radius? It is used for noble gas. We know that noble gas are obtained in monoatomic, right? तो एक monoatomic का कैसे find करेंगे? So there is a large difference, and you will find some kind of space. And we know that when we talk about helium, right? When we talk about helium, then two atoms of helium are having force of attraction, that is van der Waals force of attraction, and they are formed like this. So again, the distance between these two atoms of helium or any noble gas, and taking half of this distance will give the van der Waals radius. So I think it will be clear that covalent radius is for non-metals, metallic radius is for metals, and van der Waals radius is for noble gas. So this is how we can calculate the atomic size or atomic radius. In the next lecture, we learn about the trends of atomic size, and we see that what are the trends in group as well as period, and why there is difference or variation in d block elements in atomic size. Till then, go through the lecture and revise it. Thank you.